Hey, my name is June Holder and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be focusing on branding and finding out when is the best time to expand on your business. With many years of experience in events, opening my own bars and restaurants, it is really important that you look into branding before you do any of this. So I'm just going to go through the stages and little cool things that we can go through together so you can have a better guideline of how to improve your business. And then after that, we're going to go through the steps and how we can start staging ourselves to start saying, okay, cool, this is when I have to start expanding my business. As at the moment, people are so quick to expand and they don't actually realize that branding is the business, because focusing on one basically expands the other. So with me, I've managed lots of event companies, from brunches like the reggae brunches to doing my own club events to organising hundreds of Halloween parties on the same day, and the same with New Year's Eve. But also I did a lot of branding for opening my own bars and branding for my own restaurants like the Fish Cafe and the Duo. With all the experience I've used into my events industry, I've also used it towards my actual opening of restaurants. So this is why I think branding, I'm going to show all the stages in branding and how it can help you in your hospitality. So let's go step one. Step one is just the basic information. What makes you different from the others? A lot of people think, all right, let me open up a place, open the doors, and here we go. No. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not as easy as that. And if it was that easy, loads of people would be doing it. Especially when it comes to events and organising your own event, you have to realise you need to find the attraction and entertainment and execution of your product. And I think that's what everyone's trying to get their hands on at the moment, because when they open up their own events company or they start doing their own bars and restaurants, just open the doors, add a few things to social media, and like, cool, I'm job done. But no, this is the main problem. You actually have loads of different stages to look out for. Let me give you an example. When I opened up the Duo, there was loads of cocktail bars and loads of places to get drinks from. But for me, I had to find a unique style to try and make it stand out. So what I did, I tried to make the cocktails as photogenic as possible. So anyone that comes into my venue, they'll take a photo with the cocktail and they'll share it with their friends. So that allowed me to expand or be more creative with each drink that we're making. And it's very similar to what I did with Fish Cafe. Fish Cafe was a very normal restaurant in Hampstead. When we took it over, we decided to do something very different. So we added the oyster and prosecco brunch there, which is bottomless oysters and prosecco for an hour. And then instead of just doing normal fish cuisines, we said let's do the lobster roll. So lobster roll, we changed the packaging, designed it, and then made it into a nice little box so people can take away with them. And from then we kept on expanding on top of the product. So that's basically was the key thing for my branding. And the same you see for all my Halloween events and my other club night events, to my branding, to my brunches, to so on. And I use this technique even for all my businesses, and I feel like branding is one of the key things to move your business forward. With branding, there's quite a lot of things to focus on whilst basically getting your business ready to launch. So let's start with the artwork. So the artwork is one of the key things that you look at through the website. So the artwork can also lead to the product. So when you're designing it, don't just think of a short-term colors. So say for example, picture your business in 5 years from now. Try and create it as much in detail in the beginning, because you're building a stronger foundation for your business later on works out better. So if you're going to choose a baby blue color and gold, or you're going to choose a red and white, try and picture that design all the way through to 5 years from now. So at least you know, all right, this is my idea of my business and this is what I'll be focusing on. Another key thing is a product. With branding of a product, there's always ways to expand on it. So say for example, with us at the Fish Cafe, we had the lobster roll. We added the lobster roll, and then after that, I designed the box. And within the box, I made, all right, let me make a takeaway box. And within the takeaway box, I started working on other items. So working on just one product and working on the branding is one of the key things. But also that links you to social media. With social media, you can create loads of different content and loads of different ideas in one. I think that was one of the key things for me with branding, because you can just design, create, and execute your video just by using your phone. And there's loads of cool apps that you can use, especially just to splice it up so you can cut the video up in stages. You can do everything you want really with just the power of your phone. And that's what I do a lot with all my businesses. I record all the content I see and I link that to my business. And I think that's something that everyone should be doing whilst they're building their product or design. Another key thing for branding is your website. A lot of people are starting to move from websites, focusing more on social media, but I believe the website is one of the most important things as well, because it all interlinks and works together with itself. Making an important website so it's easy to contact you, how to get the product, and how to get the item is important. So if I relate it to my events company, I make sure the website is focused on how the customer sees the business. So the customer can go through, see what's on the event, see what's in the description, and then following how to buy the ticket, and when they purchase a ticket, what to do after. And the good thing is that when you've got a good website, you can also do follow-ups, so do pop-ups, so you're trying to do promotions and so on. And this, you can make it all work together with the colors, with the branding, with the artwork. So that's like another key thing to always focus on. Another key thing to focus on is trust. So you need your business to look trustworthy. It doesn't matter how much money you throw in it and so on, because you need to make sure no matter what, it looks professional. So always look into detail if there's any spelling mistakes or things are not working correctly. Because I've done a mistake myself where I've looked at one thing but I haven't looked at the other. So I've missed out words, or the description's not in detail enough. You have to make sure it has a lot of trust in it, because you want the customers to keep on coming back. Because the more customers you get back talking about it, the more popular you'll be, especially on social media, because really that's the new word of mouth. So when you're making your setup for branding, so you have done the logo design, because the logo, you spent time on designing it as well. You've got the right colors so you can picture it being made in 5 years' time. You've got the website set up with all your products and how you want it to be looked. Your social media, you're constantly posting. No matter what, I always post. I always look at what information is needed. And that's TikTok algorithms works really well for small businesses and large businesses. You should really take advantage of that. Even if you don't have enough content, just keep filming and filming, because at the end of the day, you'll keep on building up the business. Another key thing is to focus on is that the product. Your product is really important. So if you're doing events, your hospitality in bars or restaurants, look at all your products and why you can make them stand out. With me, I focused on how I can make the cocktail stand out, how I can make the food stand out, how I can make my event even bigger, how can I expand on that. So always look at little things and how you can make it different, because at the end of the day, you want to wow your customer in all angles. So always look at things a way to wow the customer, because the more you wow the customer, the more you can progress your business. The more content you're filming, the more you're posting on your social media. So even if you feel like, I'm just going to go on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter and Facebook, always try and use YouTube as well, because it's all really important towards your business. My things on Instagram, I try to use the reels they currently have at the moment, and I also film that on my TikTok as well. But I don't post the same video from TikTok on my Instagram. I have to make the stories very different, and always uploading more on my stories on my Instagram, on my Facebook. And I use LinkedIn as well for my personal branding, but you should try to use as much as possible in your content, because after a while, people will start noticing your product, especially if you're trying to do something unique. It always builds up upon. It's very easy to say, keep posting. But with me, I just try and find out what would make me stand out from everyone, especially if you're making such a unique product, or you're doing a unique branding, or you're trying to do something unique in your bar and restaurant. Spend time to film. It does take a lot of my time to do it, but I know at the end of the day, if I keep on doing it, when I hire another staff member, I know what to tell them, what to focus on, because I'm always boosting my business. And I've really noticed a big difference to my business, especially in Duo and Fish Cafe, when I keep on using my social media, and especially during this lockdown, people started talking about it. I can't wait to see your place when we can go out again. So it's really important to stay on top of this, especially when you're launching new products and new items, because people look out for what you're doing, and especially they're trying to see what's good for like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. It's always good to keep posting and keep everyone up to date, because at the end of the day, you don't want to miss out. So with branding, you've got the logo, artwork, website, social media, trying to get as much content as possible to try and match your branding, and then execution is building up trust. So with all these key elements in your business and all these stuff we've gone through today, if you add it all together before you start your branding, just writing down all the things you want to focus on, from your website to the logo to the artwork to the social media channels where you want to focus on, and the content you want to be filmed. It's also good to try and look for someone that can do designs for you and also edit videos for you as well. And I found that when I got involved, my videographer who does part-time work for us, he always finds a way to edit videos in a way that I can't edit them. And it's good to also train yourself in how to edit videos and also designs. So sometimes you may want to do a quick design to add on your social media or your website to make a difference. So when you're doing your events company or you're doing a hospitality, always look into all this all together, because the product is one of the key things that keeps the business rolling. And if you can keep on attracting new people, you can start working on other foundations without the service, how you treat the customers, and so on. And also the next thing to focus on is when is the best time to expand on your business. Go on to the next thing. People like to rush focusing expanding on their business. Expanding is also time consuming, and it's also really important that you don't rush into it. With us, when we come to expanding from doing one event to doing 3 or 4 or even 5 events, we try to cover all angles of the business. So make sure all the foundation and every single bits and parts of the business, from the staffing to the execution of the tickets to the customer service, is perfect. When you've done that, then you can expand to another one. What people currently do is that they quickly expand into doing loads of events, open up loads of bars and restaurants, not realizing that you need to actually attract 2 times or 3 times or 4 times the amount of people. So what I usually do is I make sure I have one event or even one bar or restaurant, make sure it's so busy that the customers are overflowing. So that's the best time to expand on the next product. But when you expand on the next product, you have to make sure that place is filled up to the capacity. So what you currently do with that is that you keep on improving the product you're selling, or in your doing events industry, what ticket you're selling. That's a really important thing for me to do. So that's one reason when I opened up Duo and I'm opening up my second place, I made sure the first Duo is so sold out on all the dates and all the events and all the bookings, then that means I said I'm ready to open the second one. But before I'm opening the second one, I'm actually building up the content and products. So when the second one opens, that's really busy, like I'm trying to fill up 3 or 4 places. And that is one of the key things for me. Just don't rush to open up a second business if you can, and don't try and expand too quickly. Even if you manage to get the investment or you manage to get your hand on getting a lot of money, take your time and analyze everything in stages. i.e. how much staff are you going to use? How are you going to manage all these people? So make sure you've got the foundation done correctly so you know what to do. Other key focuses to do before you expand your business is focus on your vision. Some people don't really have a vision on their business. They sometimes just go with the flow. I would recommend probably it's best to see what you can actually do in stages. So for example, with us, all the events or my other hospitality businesses, before I expanded on it, I had a vision what I'll be doing in 5 years' time. And for me to reach my vision, I have to open up 10 to 15 places. So with the events industry, when we're doing all the brunches and so on, I need to be running 20 to 30 brunches in a month to see my vision in the next 5 years. So what I did, I analysed how would I achieve this? What do I need and how am I going to go along with this? So with this, I need financial help. So do I need to get a loan? Or maybe I have to use the money that I'm generating to increase in it. Or maybe I need to increase on my staffing and increase on how much money I'm spending in marketing to get the revenue in so I can expand quickly. These are the little things that you need before you expand in a business to see a bit of a vision. So if you set yourself a vision, you can set yourself a target. And that allows you to expand on what you really want to work on. Before you expand on your business, you can also look at adapting. You don't really need to open up a new restaurant exactly the same as the other one. You can try twist it a little bit by looking at focusing on the food or focusing on the cocktails. You're doing events, you can twist up the event differently. You can do the event differently in London compared to Manchester. And that's what we currently do at the moment. When we're doing events or brunches, the brunches are very different in different cities. And it's exactly the same that we do for our nightclub events and so on. And we use the same technique that we do with the bars, because if you can make them all the same, what makes them different from each other? And you also could be clashing with customers because the same clientele will be looking at both of them and say, it doesn't really matter which I go to, they're all the same. So that's why it's always good to adapt some of them to make them all different from each other. This is also a good vision to when you're expanding your business, because you're not actually competing with yourself. You make them all different from each other, so everyone says, I'm going to go for this place because they do this. I'm going to go over here because this place does this. And this is a technique I usually do in my business to make sure I'm not competing with myself too much, and I'm not disturbing most of my avenues of my business. Another key thing to do before you expand to your next place or expand on your business is learn from your mistakes with your first business. There must have been loads of other things that you've done with your product or your events or even your bar and restaurant that you've done really wrong. Try and look into the detail and why it happened and how you can work on to making it to your other business, and when you're expanding, the mistake doesn't happen again. Like what I did with the first venue I opened, I didn't spend too much time on marketing the actual products. I focused on marketing the actual venue, but I didn't marketing the product as much. So the next time I expand on my next business or expand on the venue, I'm going to focus heavily on marketing the product as well as just the venue. So I'm going to look at, alright, I'm going to focus on promoting the food heavily, focusing on the cocktails, not just how the venue is designed and how attractive it looks. So always look at other ways to adapt your business sense when you're trying to expand your business. And you can probably do the same, especially with events as well. So before you expand your events, you've got to look at, alright, what have I done wrong with the first one and how I can make it better for my next ones I do across the UK, or the amount of events you do on a daily basis. So this is the end of my YouTube video on branding and how to expand on your business. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram, or you or you want to subscribe to the videos I'll be uploading more of, especially in events and hospitality, just follow me here on YouTube and share with your friends. I'll be doing more videos like this, especially focusing other things that we do, like content control and social media channels, especially in my business in events in hospitality, how important it is for you and other business to focus on.